and welcome back to another book tasting. Today, we're doing things a bit different. I decided, since it's so nice outside, that we take our tasting to my backyard. There's nothing special going on out here because it's still winter, nothing's grown back yet, but it's still nice to get out and enjoy nature, appreciating all that it has to offer. It's nice. Hear the birds singing, a little chirping and weird noises that the squirrels make. It's wonderful out here. So I found the most endearing story that offers a window into the world of a little girl who is living with autism spectrum disorder. And if you don't know what that is, autism spectrum disorder is an incurable disease that can cause significant social, communication, and behavioral challenges. Having worked in a school, I have worked with some of these children, and after getting to know them and working with them, they have been a true joy to be around. And in this particular book, Slug Days by Sarah Leach, Lauren doesn't always see the world the same way that others do, like you and me. She has trouble reading social cues and doesn't always understand what others are thinking. Lauren has autism spectrum disorder. This can often frustrate her and can set the tone for a slug day, which is a day where everyone yells at her and she is at her loneliest. But not every day is a slug day for her. Sometimes she has butterfly days. And these days feel like she can fly and everything goes right. She gets stickers on her agenda chart and she even makes her classmates laugh. So Slug Days is an easy to read story for all ages and is as entertaining as it is informative. And that is why I decided to only do one video this week, because I believe that all grades will enjoy this and benefit from it, no matter your reading level. Okay? So the author, Sarah Leach, does such a good job in portraying Lauren and letting the reader into her head to see what it's like for them in the world of an autism spectrum disorder. Whether you can relate or not, we are all learning at the same time on how to be more patient and understanding, as well as accepting those who are different from us when we read this book. So I'd like to read to you a few pages just to introduce you to Lauren and her take on what the world is like to her. So we're going to start off, we're going to start off on page 15 or page 14. It's actually kind of near the end of chapter 1. She's on her way to school and she's already having a slug day. So this is right after she gets in trouble on the bus. I curled up in the corner of the seat and pressed my cheek against the cool metal of the side of the bus. Reaching into my pocket, I pulled out the squishy ball Dad gave me. He said I could bring it to school to help me cool down, so I didn't flip my lid. He said that kids like me, kids with autism spectrum disorder, didn't always see the world the same way as everyone else, and that I needed some special tricks up my sleeve. Mom said I had trouble reading social cues, which meant I didn't understand what other people were feeling. She said the ball might help me when I missed their social signals and got into difficult situations, which meant not understanding what kids were thinking and getting into fights. I didn't keep the ball up my sleeve, but it did help sometimes. Usually, I liked the way it slapped my fingers when I bounced it against my hand. But today, even the ball didn't make me feel better. Today was a slug day. On slug days, I felt slow and slimy. Everybody yelled at me. I had no friends. And there's a picture of Lauren sitting on the school bus on her slug day. Now, the illustrator does such a good job in this story of relaying all of her emotions and her reactions within the story. She does such a great job in complimenting how the author is explaining the way that Lauren feels. So we're just going to read a little bit more. I wanted to see if I can read her butterfly day, but I don't know. I forgot to write down that page where she was having a butterfly day, but that's okay. I'm going to continue to read onto chapter 2, just so you can see a little bit more of how she's dealing with her slug day. When the bus arrived at school, I waited for everyone else to get off first. I didn't try to high-five Brad like I did with Mike most mornings. That's the school bus driver. I felt jittery, like something was missing from my day. Instead of going down the metal stairs to the playground like everyone else, I crawled under one of the pine trees that lined the school by the bus loop. The damp dirt and pine cones under me smelled like a good place for slugs. A good place for me. The tree made a tent above me. I bent my knees so my boots wouldn't stick out and give away my hiding spot. I liked the way the pine needles poked the palm of my hand. I tried wrapping my hand around a branch to see if I could get the tree to poke all 5 fingers at the same time. The bell rang. I ignored it. It was already a slug day. Why make it worse by going into class? Dan would push me again, and I'd get blamed for it. I poked the needle some more. Lauren, are you out here? Mrs. Kelly, the duty teacher, called my name over and over. I tucked my knees in tighter to keep my boots out of sight. She saw me anyway. I heard her breathing near my tree and saw the tips of her shoes as I peeked toward the parking lot. Lauren, the bell rang. It's time to go in. Stop wasting everyone's valuable time. I sighed and scooched out from under the tree. I didn't know what the big deal was. There were 200 kids and a whole bunch of teachers in the school, and she was only one adult. I wasn't wasting anybody's time, just hers. If she didn't want to waste her time, she should stop looking for me. And that's chapter 2. The chapters are really short, so that's, really good, and it makes it go by really quickly. But there's so much in each of these chapters that it's such a good read. Even as I read those 2 chapters, especially the last one, you can really tell that she is a very, she likes her senses. She likes things touching and feeling things. And you'll get that in the story, because there's this one part when she's at the ice cream shop and she's experiencing the gooey, grimy ice cream that's in the cracks of the shelf. And you'll really get a sense of empathy for Lauren, and even for anyone else that you may know or maybe you don't know yet that is living with autism spectrum disorder. I really do encourage everyone to read Slug Days, and even read it with your parents and your family. Everyone is going to certainly enjoy this. I know I did, and I know that you definitely will. So that's all I have for this week, and I will see you guys next week. And I really do hope that I see you all in the library real soon. Happy reading. Bye.